Hello. This week we're going to be looking at this idea of online collaboration, and we'll look at whether we can use digital technologies to build communities of practice. So our main idea is how and why might it be useful to collaborate online, and within that we're going to be looking at how we could evaluate the potential issues surrounding collaboration and look at how key theory might fit into this model. I'll be suggesting one particular strategy for online peer collaboration, and again I'll be saying, well, let's think about how well using technology supported our practice or how it might support our practice. First of all, just to backtrack, this idea of peer collaboration. We know it's working on a shared project as part of a group. We know it requires good communication with the group, and we know that how that group communicates is usually dictated by kind of geographic circumstance or time. Some of the best groups I've been part of have met very informally in coffee shops, but when, like us, we're a community of practitioners working at very different locations and we're all time constrained, we can't really always do that. So that's why we're looking at this online model as part of peer collaboration. From a theoretical perspective, we know it's recognised as something that supports our critical thinking because it helps us evaluate a situation or a subject from a range of perspectives. And because we have a range of perspectives, we then are enabled to come up with new solutions to problems. And the theoretical framework here, I'd be saying look at Lewin, look at Rogers. These are the seminal theorists who found value in group work, and also perhaps consider these more recent ideas of knowledge convergence, which is this idea of meaning making as a socially constructed process. So we make meaning, we transform our futures as we discuss, as we talk. And this is quite an interesting area for discussion if you would like to take that further on the forum. However, our forum discussion question is far more practical this week, and it's looking at the pros and cons of online collaboration. You know, what are the great things about it, but when couldn't it be useful? In terms of educational practice, to put this in a perspective, this collaborative methodology is very different to traditional pedagogical practice. So, collaborative practice assumes no leadership role. In a critical peer group that is really effective, each member is equally valued for their unique skills and their particular perspectives. And collaborative online learning is no different, but it does require an appropriate technology, and it does require that all the learners in a particular group feel very confident using this technology. And hopefully through the course you've actually experienced a range of technologies, and now's the time to perhaps put that knowledge together and evaluate and reflect on which ones you feel closest to your sort of own natural way of working. Which ones did you enjoy working within? Which ones did you find challenging? If we look at group psychology, Tuckman's model is the most used model here. So it looks at the 4 stages of a group. When the group forms, it then storms, so it sort of has to discover a kind of internal equilibrium. It then becomes norming, which is when each member of the group kind of settles down into a particular role. And after those stages, the group performs, which means that it actually has a sort of productive purpose. It produces outputs, and no matter what those outputs might be, that might be research, that might be something like shared resources, it might be working together and collaborating on how we design lessons. This is a model that was developed for real-time groups. So there's a lot of current research looking at how we might promote the effectiveness of collaborative online learning. And again, it's an interesting question. Do you think online collaboration requires similar skills to offline collaboration? And I think it probably does actually require quite similar skills, but with an added layer of technological competence. But I'd be very interested to hear what you think to this question. If we look at the outputs, the potential uses of collaborative online working, well, that's again dictated by your circumstance. The task we have this week is to use Google Docs to work collaboratively in your groups by annotating a particular text. And this is actually a link that I've put on the website, and it's something that to maybe hopefully get people used to using Google Docs, so another technology to explore, but it might be something that you find interesting in terms of the actual insights it gives you into that particular text that you'll be teaching in your classrooms. And our live discussion this week will be evaluating this experience, our experience of annotating this text using Google Docs. I'd like you to consider how far you felt it might support your practice, but also really look at the pros and cons of this kind of way of working, and maybe consider ways that you would find more appropriate. So here are my references, so if you're interested in this, please do go and have a look at these. I'm looking forward very much to discussing things with you in the discussion groups this week and also on the forum.